Hello, I'm mainly doing these videos basically as a documentary type thing for history, as sometimes I don't think this hobby will be around in another 50 years, so maybe YouTube still will be and I can have this on YouTube and people that are maybe interested in the hobby, if there is any birds left, or even people that are just looking to get into the hobby now. I'm documenting my way of breeding and flying the birds, and hopefully over the time, as years go by, it will show if I was on the right track or the wrong track. To give you a basic idea of my birds came up from the United States from a fella named Amir. He had sent them up to another fella in BC named Kelly Waugh, and Kelly bred a few birds off, I think 3 pairs or 4 pairs that he had there, and he gave 3 pairs of birds to a good friend of mine, Tony Hattoon, and Tony decided to get out of them, so he sent those 3 pairs to me, and I had them for quite a while, and the only thing that I bred into them is 3 birds from Holland that another friend of mine gave me because I started them out at a time with my birds. So basically I've been breeding and trying to take my breeders from the sky. I'm going to show you some of the breeders that I plan on using for 2023, and what I've done is I've just slowly weeded it down to basically 4 pairs, and I'm hoping to stick with these 4 pairs for the next few years, unless something happens to them, but hopefully nothing does. And they're all related, and I'll try and explain that in the video, how they're all related. Some of them are hard to get to hold still in live video. I could have just took photos, but I thought I'd try this new camera out. So, and I appreciate anybody that is watching this. If you have any better ideas or thoughts about breeding flying oriental rollers, please let me know. I'll attach my email address, and I have this YouTube site, so you can reach me at either, but I prefer to have it through email, as then it's a little more private. So hopefully you get something out of this video, and that it's around for a lot of years, and it will be interesting even for me, or I should say especially for me, to see where these birds go as far as quality in the air. And I'll continue to try and do as best I can to show these birds in the air. I'm going to probably stick to more like 3 bird kits, maybe 4, and possibly 5. Any more than that, I find it really hard to evaluate and appreciate what each individual bird is doing. So I can't think of anything else right now, but like I said, I'm always interested in hearing other people's ideas, and if they like the performance that these pigeons are doing or performing. Hopefully some other people will do more videos too. I see a few videos of birds flying, and then also a few that just in the loft. It'd be nice to put them together so you knew which birds were doing the work. That's what I'm going to try and do anyhow, as a documentary type thing. So hopefully you enjoy this. Talk again. Thanks. Okay, as far as my birds, all these birds that are in this lineup now for my breeders are all birds that I have bred myself. They all come from all the birds that I listed earlier or talked about, just the 2 families. I've picked them out of the sky, and I never kept track of all their parents before that, because until I had something that was consistently flying, then I decided it's time to keep track. This black cockbird is pure off of the stuff from the US. Very consistent, likes to roll and also do some other antics in the sky. This black hen, she's a combination of the 2 families. She's a very good performer, loves to spin, and very consistent. I really like this bird. And so far I've bred 3 youngsters off them this year, and all 3 were hens, and all 3 are really good spinners and performers. And this cockbird is what I call a yellow almond, and his dad was an almond cockbird and his mom was a Czech hen. And I lost him as a young bird for a couple weeks, but I was lucky to get him back, and he was very skinny, and I actually didn't think he'd fly again. But I got him all back into health and flew him again, and he ended up being probably my best bird that year. I actually like to spin fairly deep, and then also lots of other types of performance also. And this Andalusian hen, she is pure Holland breeding, and so I'll keep her in the program for quite a while. And again, mated to the yellow almond cockbird, they have raised me actually 5 babies. 3 are really doing really well, and I stocked one of them, and the other 2 are still pretty young, so we'll see how they turn out. And so far, all of them are cockbirds, which I'm really finding weird. I got one pair that's giving me all hens and one that's giving me all cockbirds. And this white grizzle cockbird, he's very, very active. Not very deep, but very active. I bred off him and then threw him out again this year, and he still performed really well. Got used to kidding again also. But now I think I'll just keep him in the stock loft, just because his babies are looking really good too. This white grizzle hen is actually his daughter, and probably the best daughter out of him in this year. That's why I stalked her before the falcons decided to come out, and I didn't want to take any chances losing her. Very nice looking bird, quite active. So we'll see how this father-daughter mating does. Now this almond cockbird is the son of the yellow almond cockbird, and he was definitely the best one as far as performance, so I thought I better stock him. Again, he's in the molt still, and plus the hawk season is coming up and falcon season, so I decided I'm going to lock him up, and I'm going to mate him to the best hen off my black pair. Now this red hen, she has a little bit of white in her tail, which I like, and she is off the 2 blacks. Uh, she definitely is the best performing one of the 3 hens that I got off them this season. Uh, the others are pretty darn close, but this one I just thought again, because she's red, be nice to keep some red in the family.